So we're working on our autobiography unit, and we have some questions that we're working on. And our first set of questions is about our family. Now remember, an autobiography is a biography, right, or a story about our lives that we have written ourselves. So we are writing our autobiographies in here. So we write our name at the top, okay? Write our name at the top so that we can remember which paper is ours. And this is going to be kept right in our writing folder, okay? So we're going to work with our family. Where were you born? Now, do you have to have complete sentences on this set of questions? No, but you can if you want to. Because what's going to happen with this set of questions is we're actually going to be using it sort of as a guide sheet when we write our paragraphs. All right? And this is just part one, so each part is going to be a separate paragraph. Okay? And you don't have to be limited just to these questions, because you might want to answer other questions as well. You might think of other things you want to talk about related to your family. So, where were you born? You could say, I was born in Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Maine, and I was born at Eastern Maine Medical Center. I'm just going to abbreviate, EMMC. All right, but I would probably write it out when I'm writing my full autobiography. When were you born? I can write that. Do you have any interesting stories from when you were born? If you don't have any interesting stories from when you were born, you have to go talk to your parents, okay, or whoever you live with and see. Ask them. You know, was there anything interesting from when I was born? Okay, and they might just say, well, we were so happy to bring you home. You changed our family forever, and we were just so happy and excited. Okay, why did your parents give you your name? All right, and so you have to talk to them about that. Was there a special reason? Were you named after someone in your family? Okay, and maybe even ask your parents, what does your name mean? Do they know what your name means? Did they give it to you for a special reason? All right, do you or did you have any nicknames? Okay, so for example, my nickname might be Jess. Okay, some people, even teachers, might have called me Jessie. Okay, but you might have different nicknames for you. That's a shortened name. Who did you live with when you came home from the hospital? Did you stay with your parents? Did you stay with grandparents, an aunt, an uncle? You know, where were you living? Just you can talk about that. Maybe brothers and sisters. Then we get to that. Do you have brothers or sisters? Well, for me, I have one brother, right? One brother, and I have 3 sisters. So I could write about that. Okay, but they weren't there when I was born because I'm the oldest. And I might say that in my autobiography. All right? Who did you or who do you look most like in your family? Okay? You can say, I look most like my mom, or I look most like my dad, or maybe you look like an uncle or an aunt. All right? And again, if you're not sure of the answers to these questions, you can ask somebody at home. What is your earliest memory? Okay, and I've already talked to you guys a little bit. My earliest memory is of our first apartment that my parents and I lived in, and I can remember being in my crib and climbing out of it. Okay, and I can remember going out, probably toddling out into the living room and seeing my parents watching TV. All right, so I can remember back that time. I was probably only 2. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2. It was very, very long, you know, early. And so you can write all that out, just what I told you, or you can just make some notes. You know, my crib, 2 years old, climbing out, watching TV. Because this is not the part that you're handing in. This is not the part that we would, let's say, put into a book and publish. This is just the part that's going to be your guide to help you with what you're going to work on next, okay, after you get this finished. So this is Autobiography Questions, Part 1, your family, and it's going to be the guide to our paragraph writing. Okay.